The laser wavered momentarily before centering precisely between his furrowed brows. With a single blink, his confident facade faltered. Behind him, her fingers quivered imperceptibly, a telltale sign of her wavering allegiance. He seemed to be projecting false bravado, his chest puffed out and veins bulging. A textbook example of a man who believed physical strength could make him invincible. She stood partially obscured by his imposing figure, seeking refuge from a threat that brute force could never deter. "Do the smart thing," he growled, his chest heaving with each labored breath. "Walk away before I make you regret it." I offered a cold, unwavering smile. With over a decade of experience as an assassin and a flawless record of eliminations, I knew that even the most formidable opponents were vulnerable, especially when they weren't the intended target. 3 weeks prior, she had hesitantly uttered a name in a hushed tone. I awoke to the sound of her soft and breathless sleep, but it wasn't my name she whispered. I lay still, gazing at the ceiling, allowing the silence to envelop me like settling ash. The next morning, she kissed me casually, as if nothing had transpired the night before. Amidst the mundane routine of coffee and small talk, her phone buzzed with a name unfamiliar to me. Nonchalantly, I inquired, "Who's that?" Her hesitation was fleeting as she replied, "Just a coworker," too swiftly, too sharply. I maintained a placid facade, masking the turbulence within. Betrayal isn't always loud and dramatic. Sometimes it simmers quietly, like a fuse burning unseen. Unaware of the flames she had ignited, she continued on, oblivious. I navigated through the days with a composed vigilance, like maneuvering through enemy territory. Investigating further, I traced her car's GPS history, revealing her recurring visits to a high-rise across town for hours at a time. The unit number remained constant, Cameron's residence. Seeking clarity, I leveraged a former intel contact to conduct a background check on Cameron Reed, unearthing a troubling past of assault charges alongside his pursuits in amateur bodybuilding. Charges were dismissed. She wasn't interested anymore, and the feeling was mutual. The next red flag was a toothbrush in her gym bag that didn't belong to her. Different bristles and a hint of cologne I didn't recognize. Despite my suspicions, I kept quiet. It wasn't the act of betrayal or the truth coming to light that hurt the most. It was my silence that haunted me. An envelope arrived precisely at 2:37 p.m. on a Thursday. I already knew its contents. With meticulous care, I'd opened it to reveal a DNA report with my name, her name, Cameron Reese, and a prenatal file indicating she was 6 weeks pregnant. We hadn't been intimate for 9 weeks. The last time we were together, her demeanor suggested she was burdened with guilt. She extinguished the lights as if concealing the secret. That evening, I prepared a perfect dinner, favorite wine, everything poised for her arrival. When she walked in, I handed her the envelope without a word. As she read through the papers, her expression crumpled. Tears streamed down her face as she struggled to find the right words. I remained still silent. Eventually, she pleaded for understanding, claiming confusion, saying that it was a humorous mistake of words. Betrayal should have come with a warning label, like a clerical error. Once again, we found ourselves facing the boastful giant with a mouth too big for his head, and her standing timidly behind him, unsure of whom to fear more. "You don't intimidate me," he snapped, attempting to regain control. "You're just a washed-up." His words were abruptly silenced as the laser twitched, cutting him off mid-sentence. I spoke in a low, chilling tone, "See that? It's not a threat, it's insurance." His eyes locked on the red dot of the rifle, finally realizing its aim. Somewhere from a rooftop or across the street, I stepped forward, composed yet lethal. "She didn't tell you, did she? That she's carrying your child?" His shock was visible as his mouth hung open in disbelief. "She kept it from you because she wanted to pretend it was mine," I revealed to the pale-faced woman. "I'm not here to fight," I continued calmly. "I just wanted you to know." He disappeared from sight. I turned to her and uttered firmly, "Don't call, don't pursue. If I come across either of you again, it won't end in conversation." With that, I walked away, leaving silence in my wake, and for once, I did glance back. Some betrayals inflict a clean cut, while others leave hidden wounds that continue to bleed. Over time, I've mastered the art of self-healing without external help. Instead of dwelling on questions or seeking explanations, I've learned to simply acknowledge the truth. She turned out to be a different person than I believed her to be, or perhaps she had never truly been that person. As for myself, I have come to accept that I am a sharp instrument. She merely served as a reminder of what that entails. A weapon doesn't display vulnerability, plead for mercy, or feel remorse for its actions. Its purpose is to ensure that it never fails to hit its target. And I never miss.